When crossing a sidewalk to enter traffic from an alley or driveway, drivers should A. Stop only if pedestrians are on the sidewalk. B. Stop before driving onto the sidewalk or sidewalk area. C. Expect pedestrians on the sidewalk to yield the right of way. B. Stop before driving onto the sidewalk or sidewalk area. When leaving an alley, driveway, or parking lot to enter a roadway, you must stop before driving onto a sidewalk or sidewalk area. Pedestrians and existing traffic have the right of way. If your wheels drop off the roadway or pavement edge, you should A. Wait until it is safe to do so, then gradually re-enter the roadway. B. Turn back onto the roadway immediately. C. Stop. A. Wait until it is safe to do so, then gradually re-enter the roadway. If your wheels drop off the roadway or pavement edge, do not attempt to turn back onto the roadway immediately. Instead, reduce your speed, check traffic, and gradually turn back onto the roadway when it is safe to do so. Give the right of way to any pedestrian who is A. In a marked crosswalk. B. In any crosswalk or intersection. C. Crossing any street. C. Crossing any street. Drivers must yield the right of way to pedestrians who are crossing the street in any marked or unmarked crosswalk. In the interest of safety, drivers should yield the right of way to people crossing any street. This sign means A. Do not enter. B. Stop ahead. C. Roadwork or maintenance is present. C. Roadwork or maintenance is present. Orange, diamond-shaped signs are used to mark construction, maintenance, survey, and utility work areas. These signs help direct drivers and pedestrians safely through dangerous zones. Fines for traffic convictions may double in areas marked by these signs.
Want to ace your DMV test? Click on the link below and get your guaranteed cheat sheet.
A flashing yellow light at an intersection means you should A. Slow down and proceed with caution. B. Come to a complete stop as quickly as possible. C. Stop and proceed only when the intersection is clear. A. Slow down and proceed with caution. When encountering a flashing yellow light at an intersection, you should slow down and proceed with caution. You do not need to come to a complete stop when approaching a flashing yellow light. When changing lanes, you should never A. Cross the center line in an intersection. B. Check your blind spots by looking over your left or right shoulder. C. Check for other drivers moving into the same lane. A. Cross the center line in an intersection. Before changing lanes, check for drivers trying to pass you who may be trying to enter the same lane as you. Look over your shoulder to check your blind spot. You should never attempt to pass or otherwise change lanes in an intersection. A pentagon-shaped sign is a A. Stop sign. B. Regulatory sign. C. School zone or school crossing sign. C. School zone or school crossing sign. A five-sided sign is used to alert drivers to a school zone. Some pentagonal signs specifically indicate crosswalks within school zones where children or other pedestrians may be present. To help others see you when daylight begins to fade, you should use your A. Parking lights. B. Low beam headlights. C. Emergency flashers. B. Low beam headlights. As daylight begins to fade, turn on your low beams to help others see you. Only use your high beam headlights in an open area where no other drivers are present. What should a driver do when approaching a traffic control signal that is not in operation? A. Come to a full stop and yield the right of way before entering the intersection. B. If the intersection is clear, the driver does not need to stop. C. Drive quickly through the intersection to get out of the way of other vehicles. A. Come to a full stop and yield the right of way before entering the intersection. When traffic control signals are not working, a driver must always treat the intersection as an all-way stop and come to a complete stop, unless otherwise directed by law enforcement. The driver must then look and yield the right of way before entering the intersection. Excessive speed. A. Saves time so you can get to your destination more quickly. B. Helps you maneuver around obstacles. C. Increases the likelihood of serious bodily injury and death. C. Increases the likelihood of serious bodily injury and death. Excessive speed is one of the most common contributing factors to vehicle crashes. Excessive speed does not save time and often leads to high-risk decision-making. A large truck is ahead of you and is turning right onto a street with 2 lanes in each direction. The truck A. May complete its turn in either of the 2 lanes. B. May have to swing wide to complete the right turn. C. Must stay in the right lane at all times while turning. B. May have to swing wide to complete the right turn. When a vehicle makes a turn, the rear wheels follow a shorter path than the front wheels. The longer the vehicle, the bigger the difference between the paths of the front and rear wheels. Therefore, long trucks often have to swing wide to complete a right turn. Which of the following driving skills are affected by the use of alcohol and/or drugs? A. Alertness and concentration. B. Reaction time and coordination. C. All of the above. C. All of the above. Any amount of alcohol acts as a depressant, slowing the function of the nervous system. It will reduce a person's alertness and ability to concentrate, increase their reaction time, and drastically reduce their coordination. When planning to back up your vehicle, you should A. Check behind the vehicle before getting in. B. Depend entirely on your mirrors. C. Accelerate quickly. A. Check behind the vehicle before getting in. When planning to back up your vehicle, check behind the vehicle before getting in. Children and small objects may be difficult or impossible to see from the driver's seat. When entering the interstate, check for a gap in traffic in the nearest lane, adjust your speed to match traffic, signal, and A. Expect traffic to allow you to proceed into the lane, since you have the right of way. B. Merge carefully into the gap. C. Wait for the lane to clear before merging. B. Merge carefully into the gap. Before merging into interstate traffic, you should identify a gap, accelerate to the speed of traffic, and signal. Merge into the gap when it is safe to do so. Be alert to other traffic and do not expect other drivers to clear the lane. A blood alcohol concentration of 0.02%. A. Won't have any effect on your driving. B. Won't put other drivers at risk. C. Will double your chances of having an accident. C. Will double your chances of having an accident. Every 0.02% increase in blood alcohol concentration nearly doubles a driver's risk of being in a fatal crash. On a freeway, you should look farther ahead than you would on a city street. A. In order to see potential hazards early. B. Because it takes a quarter of a mile to stop your vehicle completely. C. Because it helps you keep up with traffic. Before stopping your vehicle at a traffic signal or sign, you should: A. Press down hard on the accelerator. B. Check your mirrors for surrounding traffic. C. Set the parking brake. B. Check your mirrors for surrounding traffic. When stopping your vehicle on the roadway, first check your mirrors for traffic. Be aware of surrounding drivers as you release the accelerator and allow your vehicle to slow. Move your foot to the brake pedal and press with steady pressure for a smooth stop. This sign means: A. You can travel in either direction in this lane. B. There is two-way traffic. C. You are approaching a divided highway. B. There is two-way traffic. This sign warns of two-way traffic. When stopped at a red traffic light with a green arrow, you may proceed in the direction of the arrow if you: A. First come to a complete stop. B. Wait until the light changes. C. Are in the proper lane and the intersection is clear. C. Are in the proper lane and the intersection is clear. You may proceed in the direction that a green arrow signal is pointing if you are in the proper lane, regardless of any other signals that are displayed. Before turning, you must yield the right-of-way to pedestrians and vehicles already within the intersection. If a road is slippery, maintain a following distance that is: A. No different than normal. B. Farther from the car ahead than normal. C. Closer to the car ahead than normal. B. Farther from the car ahead than normal. You need a longer distance to stop your vehicle on a slippery road than you do on a dry road. Maintain an increased following distance when driving on slippery roads. It is illegal for a person 21 years of age or older to drive with a minimum blood alcohol concentration (BAC) of A. 0.05%, B. 0.08%, C. 0.02%, B. 0.08%. For drivers age 21 or older, it is illegal to operate a motor vehicle with a blood alcohol concentration (BAC) of 0.08% or higher. Driving while under the influence of alcohol is not only illegal, but dangerous. Stopping distances and severity of crashes. A. Decrease as vehicle speed increases. B. Are not affected by vehicle speed. C. Increase as vehicle speed increases. C. Increase as vehicle speed increases. Stopping distances are longer and crashes are more severe when traffic travels at higher speeds. If you come to a railroad crossing with lowered gates and flashing warning lights, you should: A. Drive around the crossing gates if you can't see a train. B. Come to a complete stop well behind the gates, wait for the tracks to clear, and proceed once the gates are lifted. C. Slow down and drive around the gates. B. Come to a complete stop well behind the gates, wait for the tracks to clear, and proceed once the gates are lifted. You must stop at a railroad crossing where signs, warning devices, or flaggers warn you of the presence of a train. It is illegal to drive around lowered gates. You may be able to identify an aggressive driver by A. Their erratic and improper lane changes. B. The number of passengers in their car. C. Their tendency to drive slowly. A. Their erratic and improper lane changes. While driving, you should remain aware of the actions of surrounding drivers. If you notice an aggressive driver nearby making erratic or improper lane changes, you should not challenge them. The safest way to handle an aggressive driver is to get out of their way. What message will be found on this yellow pennant-shaped sign? A. Right turns only. B. Right turns permitted. C. No passing zone. C. No passing zone. Pennant-shaped yellow signs like this are used to indicate a no passing zone. Continuous hard braking on ice and snow often. A. Helps you stop faster. B. Locks the front wheels of a vehicle, causing a loss of steering. C. Keeps the brakes from freezing. B. Locks the front wheels of a vehicle, causing a loss of steering. Continuous hard braking on snow and ice can result in the locking of the front brake, causing a loss of steering. To avoid the need for excessive braking, make sure to maintain an appropriate speed for conditions. Which of the following statements is true? A. Driving too slowly is not an unsafe practice. B. Driving too slowly on certain highways can be dangerous. C. The speed at which you drive a vehicle does not affect safety. B. Driving too slowly on certain highways can be dangerous. Driving too slowly can be dangerous because it may cause drivers behind you to become frustrated and make dangerous moves to pass you. It is safest to drive with the flow of traffic, within the legal speed limit. You must show proof of insurance to law enforcement. A. Only if you are involved in a collision. B. If you are involved in a collision or stopped for a citation. C. Only if you are stopped and cited. When backing up. A. Look through the rear window. B. Press hard on the gas pedal. C. Rely only on your rear view mirror. A. Look through the rear window. When backing up, place your right arm on the back of the passenger seat and look directly through the rear window. Do not depend on your rear view or side mirrors as mirrors do not show directly behind your vehicle. Only drive in reverse at a low speed. This sign is used to warn drivers that A. The right lane is ending and traffic should merge left. B. The road curves ahead. C. There are upcoming intersections. A. The right lane is ending and traffic should merge left. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. They alert you to conditions that are immediately ahead. This sign warns drivers that the number of lanes is reduced ahead and that traffic should merge left. While in a motor vehicle on a highway, it is A. Illegal to either drink from or possess open containers of alcohol. B. Legal to drink alcohol if you're not driving. C. Legal to drink alcohol if you're driving but not drunk. This road sign means: A. Cars in the right lane must slow down. B. No left turn. C. Merge. C. Merge. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. This sign indicates that there could be traffic merging from the right, so drivers should prepare to allow traffic to safely merge. This road sign means: A. Drive with caution and be ready to stop. B. You must come to a complete stop. C. Stop, if necessary. B. You must come to a complete stop. The stop sign is the only 8-sided sign you will see on any roadway. When you encounter a stop sign, you must come to a complete stop. You may not proceed until the way is clear for you to completely and safely pass through the intersection. A diamond-shaped sign means: A. Yield. B. Stop. C. Warning. C. Warning. Diamond-shaped signs are used to warn drivers of special conditions or hazards ahead. They are typically yellow or orange in color. This road sign means: A. When pavement is wet, reduce your speed. B. The road ahead winds in a series of turns or curves. C. Traffic increases ahead. A. When pavement is wet, reduce your speed. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. This sign warns drivers that the roadway will be slippery when wet and they should reduce their speed accordingly. Before you change lanes, you should check your mirrors and: A. Never look over your right shoulder. B. Always slow down in your traffic lane. C. Glance over your shoulder. C. Glance over your shoulder. Before changing lanes, it is very important to check behind you. You should look over your shoulder to ensure that you are not getting in the way of vehicles in the lane you want to enter. Before changing lanes, you should also ensure that no drivers are attempting to drive into the same spot from a different lane. This sign means: A. Winding road ahead. B. Do not enter. C. Pedestrian crossing. A. Winding road ahead. This sign warns of a winding road ahead. Tailgating other drivers, driving too closely to their rear bumper. A. Can frustrate other drivers and make them angry. B. Cannot result in a traffic citation. C. Reduces collisions by preventing being cut off. A. Can frustrate other drivers and make them angry. Tailgating is a common behavior that can lead to aggressive driving, and so it should be avoided. Drivers may face legal consequences for driving unsafely. You drive defensively when you: A. Put one car length between you and the car ahead. B. Look only at the car in front of you while driving. C. Keep your eyes moving to look for possible hazards. C. Keep your eyes moving to look for possible hazards. You are driving defensively when you are looking down the road for potential hazards. Constantly staring at the road directly in front of your vehicle is dangerous. As you scan ahead, be alert to vehicles around you. This yellow warning sign means A. You are approaching a school or school crosswalk. B. Slow down, drive with caution, and watch for children. C. Both of the above. C. Both of the above. This sign is placed on roads near schools to warn drivers to slow down, drive with caution, and watch for children.